Hola amigos, welcome to a new video for math. This one is for Tuesday, March the 31st. And let's start with our math countdown. Okay, in this paper we have 7 questions and I'm going to guide you through the answers for those 7. Let's begin. Number 1, right there. Triangle Q has a perimeter of 45 centimeters. Perimeter. Let's remember first, and I'm going to type in here, that to find the perimeter, we need to add all sides. So for perimeter, we certainly need to add all the sides. The first, it says right here, the first side measures 17 centimeters and the second side measures 15 centimeters. Remember, it is a triangle, so a triangle has 3 sides, and we are just getting the sides from the first side and the second side. Which expression shows a way to find the length of the third side? They already give us the perimeter, so just to make it visual here for you, let me draw a triangle that looks kind of like that, okay? And then we know that one side is going to be 17. Another side is going to be 15. And then we also know that all of it, the perimeter, I'm going to put a P right here, P equals 45. So I know that all of it is 45, and I also have this too. How can we find the length for that side missing? I'm going to put a question mark here to remember that I need to find that one. Well, what I have to do is, from the number they give me of the whole perimeter, 45, I'm going to subtract these two numbers. I need to find an equation here, an expression that shows 45 minus 17 minus 15. So let's start. Letter A, we have an addition here, so that's not a good option. Letter B, 45 minus 17 minus 15. This might be the right answer. Maybe we already found it. Letter C, it is addition and addition, so it will not work. I'm going to cross it out. And for letter D, they are adding the 3 sides. So it means they already are showing another number here that we don't know where they took it from. So that cannot be a good answer. So for number 1, we already found the answer. That should be letter B. Okay, let's move on. Number 2, oh, it is a clock. It is a question about time. Remember, that's what we were checking before we went on our spring break. A group of students will enter the library at the time shown on the clock. Let's read the clock, amigos. Remember, this one is for hour. This one right here is for hour. I'm going to put an H here for hours. And the long one is for minutes. Okay, that's for M. So this one is before the number 3, so this should be 2. That's the time 2, and how many minutes? It is right on the number 9, so that should be 45. Remember how we read the time? Each of them is going to be 5 minutes. So when you count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So the time here is 2:45. And then it says the group will leave 25 minutes later. And the question is, at what time will the group leave? So what I'm going to do here is, from the clock right here, I'm going to use my clock to make it easier for me. I'm going to add 25 minutes because it says later. So add. You need to add those 25 minutes to the time that you already have on your clock. Okay. So 2:45 right there. Let me add 25. This is 5. 10, 15, 20, and 25. I already added 25 minutes. And my new time should be right here. This is for the minutes. This one should be for the minutes right here. And of course, when I move the minutes there, the one for the hours should also move. So the new time, as you can see there, this is 3 and 10 minutes. So 3:10. I'm going to write it here. Make sure you do the same on your paper. And that should be the time when I add 25 minutes to the original time that was 2:45. So we know that F is not a good answer. H is not a good answer either. J is not the one we need. So letter G is our answer, 3:10. Make sure you are checking these answers on my video. So then on the Google form, you can choose the right answers and I can see 100 on your practice paper, okay? Let's go for number 3 right there. The sum of which two numbers is odd? Okay, so let's remember that, and I'm going to type it right here. Odd numbers. Odd numbers mean that they cannot be divided by 2. It means I cannot divide the number by 2. And the opposite to odd numbers, it is even numbers. And an even number, well, is basically the opposite. They can be divided by 2. For example, an odd number is number 1, because when you try to divide 1 by 2, you don't get a whole number, you get a fraction. 3 is another example. If you have 3 cookies and you are trying to divide it between 2 of your friends, then they don't get a whole number. They will get 1.5, 1.5 cookies. So that is basically an odd number. They cannot be divided by 2. An easy way to understand this, amigos, and I really like this way, is an odd number is going to end, it means the last digit of the number is going to end in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. So if the last digit of your number is either 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, that means it's going to be an odd number. Now, but the first thing we have to do is we need to add these numbers to see which ones are odd. So the first one right here is 49 plus 37. Make sure you're adding that on your paper. I'm just going to do one with you right here as an addition, but I should be able to see all of them on your paper. Okay. So 49 plus 37. Let me add those two numbers. And 9 plus 7 is 16. So 6 and I carry 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus 3 more is 8. So this one is 86. And now that you have this number, amigos, you ask yourself, is my last digit, which is number 6, is my last digit a 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9? No, it is not. It means that this is not an odd number. It is an even number because I can divide it by 2 and I will get a whole number. 67 and 33. Make sure you add those two numbers on the space on your paper. And when you have the answer, 67 and 33, that is 100. My last digit here is a 0. Okay, so it is not 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. So it is not an odd number. When I add the two numbers in letter C, 51 and 18, my answer is 69. And I can see that my last digit here is a 9. So yes, this is an odd number. So most likely this is the right answer, amigos. Let's finish with letter D, 60 and 36. When you add the two of them, that is 96. My last digit here is a 6. So it is not 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. That means it is not an odd number. And I already have the answer. My answer should be letter C, because the number 69, it is an odd number. You cannot divide it by 2 and still have whole numbers. You will have a fraction. So if you try to divide 69 by 2, the answer will be 34.6, 34 and a half. And that is not a whole number. Okay, let me just move this right here. And let's go to number 4. Number 4, Mr. Sykes harvested 312, that's the first number I need to highlight, 312 ears of corn in a field. He fed 104 ears of corn to his horses and 97 ears of corn to his cows. The question is, how many ears of corn did Mr. Sykes have left? Remember that when it says have left, we need to subtract. So what are we going to subtract? We're going to subtract 104 and 97 from the original number of corn, which was 312. Okay, so that was the original number, 312. Okay, so what I can do is I can subtract 312 minus 104 and then minus 97. Or another thing that you can do, that is what I'm going to be doing now, is first I'm going to put these two numbers together. It means I'm going to add them. 104 plus 97. Going to combine those numbers. 4 plus 7, that is 11. 1 and I carry 1. 1 plus 0 is 1 plus 9 more, that is 10. So 0 and I carry 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So I know that these two numbers combined, that is 201. Now that I have combined these two, I'm going to subtract 312 minus a number that I found, minus 201. Let's see what the answer is. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 minus 0 is 1, and 3 minus 2 is 1. Oh, I really like this number, 111. So F is not a good answer. G is not a good answer either. I see that H is my right answer, 111. Okay, and I'm also going to eliminate letter J because it is close, but it's not the answer we need. So that is number 4. Okay, let's continue with number 5 right here. And I'm going to make my screen a bit smaller so you can see all of it. Amigos, I think that in your copies you cannot see clearly the shaded part, so make sure you look at my screen and you also shade it on your paper so you can see clearly what the parts shaded are. Now that you have shaded your paper, let's read the question. Eddie, Cole, and Felix will break and share 2 whole pieces of chalk. So let me just highlight that part. The shaded part of which model represents the amount of chalk that Felix should get. So we have 2 whole pieces of chalk, and how many people do we have? Eddie, Cole, and Felix. That is 3 people here. I'm going to put a number 3 here to remember that I need to divide 2 whole pieces between 3 people. So that's what I need to do. And now let's check which model represents the amount that one person, in this case Felix, is going to get. Okay, so what I do here, amigos, is I can see that these 2 parts, 1 and 2, they divided into 1, 2, and 3. on one side, 1, 2, and 3 in the other side. So right here, we have 6 parts in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have 2 shaded. So that is 2 parts out of 6. First, I'm going to do the fraction for all the answers, and then we're going to check the options. On letter B, how many parts do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 parts. I'm going to put it at the bottom. And then let's see how many shaded are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 6. 4 out of 6 are shaded. On letter C, again we see that are 6 parts. And only one of them is shaded. On letter D, we also have 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, sorry, let me just move my screen right here a little bit. 6 parts, and 1, 2, and 3 are shaded. Okay, so because we have 3 people from this problem that we have to divide it equally, we need to find the numbers that when we add the number at the top, when we add the same number 3 times, it's going to give you the number at the bottom. So 2 for Felix, 2 for Eddie, and 2 for Cole. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. 6 out of 6. So I think this is going to be the right answer because we are given 2 to each person, as you can see here, 1 and 2. And when we add them, 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is 6. I'm going to put a question mark right here. Remember, when we add the number, we have to have the same numerator, number at the top, and denominator here. So what happens in letter B? We have 4. So if I give 4 to Felix, 4 to Eddie, and 4 to Cole, 4 plus 4 plus 4, that will be 12. 12 out of 6. So as you can see, the number is bigger. We wouldn't even have enough to give them to each of them. So letter B is not a good option. Let me discard it. Letter C, 1, 6. 1 for Felix, 1 for Eddie, 1 for Cole. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. 3, 6. And again, the number at the top is not the same as the number at the bottom, so this is not correct. This means that if I use that number, 3, 6, I'm going to have some extra pieces of chalk, and that's not what we need. 3, 6 is the last one, and when I add 3 plus 3 plus 3, that's going to be 9. 9 out of 6, 9, 6. And that's not the number that we need, so letter D is not correct. I'm going to cross it out here. And the option, of course, is letter A, because Felix and the other 2 friends are going to get 2, 6 each of them. Okay, let's move on to number 6. We're about to finish there, amigos. Delma is 5 years old. I'm going to highlight that. Megan is 7 years old. And Eva, which is another student there, another person, is half the age of Delma and Megan together. Half the age. Okay, so which diagram represents Eva's age correctly? Okay, first we need to find a diagram in which we can see that Delma is 5 and Megan is 7. And they need to be together on the same diagram because we're going to compare their age to the age of Eva. So let's see. This one says 5, but Eva should not be right here on the same diagram. Right here we should have a 7, not under it. So I'm going to eliminate letter F. Letter G, we have a 5. That's true. We have a 7. That is correct. But then it says that Eva is half. It means only half of all of these together. If Eva's diagram, if the bar for Eva will be around here, which is a half of these two, the answer will be correct, but it's way longer. Do you see how it is way longer than 5 and 7 together? So letter G is not correct. Letter H, we have a number 5 here. We don't have a 7 next to it, and actually have the 7 on top here, and it's very big, so this is not a good diagram. Let's see if letter J is the right option. We have a 5, we have a 7, and Eva is half of the two of them together, which is true because all of this line, 5 plus 7 is 12, and this one right here should be around the half of it. And you see that Eva's line, Eva's diagram there gets to the half. So letter J is correct. We have found the answer. Let's finish with number 7 right there. It's one of my favorite things to do, the dot plots. And I know some of you really like them too. So let's see how we can find the answer here. I'm going to make it a bit small so we can actually read all of it while we eliminate options. Okay. 8 students measured the lengths of their pencils. They rounded the lengths to the nearest inch. 2 pencils were 6 inches long. 1 pencil was 9 inches long. 2 pencils were 4 inches long. Another 2 pencils were 7 inches long, and 1 more pencil was only 2 inches long. Which dot plot summarizes the information listed above? So let's start checking. Remember that when we check dot plots, when one of them doesn't have the right information, we can automatically just right there eliminate the option. So we start. 2 pencils were 6 inches old. This is the number of inches right here. So we need 2 pencils in the number 6. This one is correct. Well, this one is not correct. So I'm going to eliminate letter B as of right now. Next one, letter C. Number 6 has 2. Maybe it's correct. Letter D. In the 6 inches, it has 2. Maybe it's correct. So we still have 3 options, A, C, and D. Let's go for the next one. 1 pencil was 9 inches long. Let's go to the 9. There should be 1. This one is correct. Letter C, this one is correct. And letter D, no, it's not correct. So we can already cross out letter D. It is not a good option. Okay, we only have letter A and letter C as our options. We already checked this one. We already checked this one here. Let's go for the next one. 2 pencils were 4 inches long. Let's go to the number 4. There should be 2. This is correct. This one is correct. Okay, so we have to continue checking because we have not found the answer yet. The next one is 2 pencils were 7 inches long. So 7, there are 2 here, that's correct. There are 2 here, that is correct. Okay, we will have to go to the very last one to check the right answer. 1 pencil was 2 inches long. 1 pencil was 2 inches long. 2 inches long, and I don't see any pencil here. So letter A is not correct. I'm going to cross it out. And if I go to letter C, in the number 2, 2 inches, I should see 1 pencil. And there it is. Letter C is the right option here. So letter C. I'm going to highlight all the letter C here because that's the right option. Okay. And amigos, with this we have finished our paper for countdown math. The answers are 1, letter B, 2, letter G, 3 is letter C, number 4 is letter H, 5 is also letter A right here, number 6 is letter J, and number 7, that is letter C. Again, make sure you type these answers, these 7 answers in our Google form so I can see that you completed the assignment, and that will be all for math class for today. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.